everybody. We're having today a special guest. She's Sania Dookie, and she's joining us today from Canada. And Sania Dookie, she's on a mission to empower one ambitious woman at a time. We also have Sania, and she's also has a doctoral candidate in a clinical psychology, and she is certified John Maxwell coach. She's also a speaker and a trainer, a certified Maxwell parenting and family coach. So I am so honored to have you today, Sania, joining us live from Canada.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is not our first time, so we were going to have it more of you because you're so much wealth, have a wealth of knowledge, experience. So please share about yourself.
Thank you so much for having me on your platform. It's always a pleasure to share and just to inspire someone out there, is to add value. So as you mentioned, I I live in Canada. I'm a Canadian now, but I'm actually originally from Jamaica, from the island, the beautiful island of Jamaica.
Welcome.
And so yeah, I um I hear you, you're listing all those achievements that I have, but I feel that it's important to encourage somebody. Sometimes we see like somebody having an achievement here and they're like, wow, that's amazing. I wish I could have that too. But I just want to share with everyone that growing up in Jamaica, if somebody told me that I was going to be in Canada, a Canadian citizen, an entrepreneur, having my own private practice here, being a doctoral candidate, I would tell them that they're crazy. I would literally tell them that they're crazy. Just growing up, my parents, my father is or was a peasant farmer, and my mom a stay-at-home mom. And both of them, they had just the high school or the grade 9 education level. And so they have 4 of us girls, no boys. And, they told us that we want you to have as much education as you possibly can. We would follow them to the farm, and we'd have our little buckets of tomatoes or whatever vegetable of the time that they're planting, and we'd walk on the road home because we didn't have vehicles. And my parents told me that they would be laughed at, these 2 people walking with a trail of children behind them, and people really looked down on us and thought that girls, all they're going to be doing is just getting pregnant and packing up their parents' house with children and not becoming anything. And just the way that people would talk about us as well, as a little child, seeing that happening. But one of the things that I realized that my parents, they never, ever, ever repeated any of those things that people told them about us. They never, ever let that pass through their lips. What they did was they looked at us and said, hey, I see you becoming a teacher. I see you becoming a nurse. I see you becoming a professional because you are able to, and I'm going to make sure that you do that. And so with that, we went through school, and for myself, going through school, I wasn't the most confident person, and actually I struggled academically. If I had the chance to do any form of school again, I would go back to high school just to prove that I could actually do something. When I was in high school, I I struggled with depression. At the time, I didn't know it was. I had depression. I had low self-esteem. I had no sense of confidence in myself. I was that student who would sit in the front of class, and I would hold my head down the whole time because I was afraid the teacher would call on me and embarrass myself. I was that student. And I was that student where, the teacher looked at me and said, even you, I don't even know why you're in my class. This is just a waste of time. You're not doing anything here. You're just taking up space. And, I had another high school teacher who looked at me and called me PD. So I said, what do you mean by PD? So in Jamaican terminology, PD means pretty dunce, meaning you're beautiful, but you're dumb. And so that's kind of what I experienced in high school, and I believed it for so long. But my parents, and there are one or two people who would just look at me and they would say, "You have so much potential. You're so bright." I struggled to believe it, but they were there along the way to tell me, "You can do this." And I even went to the point where I was flunking exams. I flunked exams all through high school, as a matter of fact, and even got as low as 2% in math. That's how low I was in an exam. And just at the time, it would have been really embarrassing to talk about it, but now I'm not scared to, because I know I can encourage somebody out there. Now in my doctorate, I grades, it's not a big deal, but for me it is. Me it is, and I will be graduating at the highest level because of my GPA. I got A in most of my courses. And for me, that matters because I was coming from a point where I was on academic probation. I was getting my low 50s average. And now I am at the place where I'm an A person. And I just want to encourage somebody that not because you are at this place in your point in time, it means that that is your future, that is your destiny.
Yes.
Your destiny can change, and all you have to do is just to have faith in your process. And for me, I had faith in God. I'm a faith person.
Yes.
And I believe that God brought me through each step of the way. He always provided people along to just encourage me despite of what was going on. And that's just a piece of my experience. I can't go into all of it today, but I just wanted to share share this piece of my journey with someone, that if you feel like right now you're struggling with dyslexia or any learning disability, or you're doing poorly in your studies, or you've never really done good at anything in your life, I want to encourage you guys today that it can change. It can absolutely change. And don't use your present circumstances to determine how far you can go in life.
Yes.
Never, ever do that.
That is excellent, excellent illustration and the life story that you have shared with us. I know how sometimes embarrassing for us to admit those embarrassment moments that we have encountered during the childhood. However, when you look back at that, you see that those adversity, those shameful moments made you who you are today. You were striving for some to achieve your dreams. And I know we have so many girls out here who are struggling with their own self-esteem because they compare themselves with those magazines that is out there, those fake beauties that is not gonna last forever. I think we're losing this essence of true, magnificent, divine beauty that God has given to a woman. And what would you share, and what would you tell the girl right now who is struggling in the schools or colleges, who are struggling with the self-esteem? How would you encourage her?
I just want to say to you that you are an original masterpiece. You are only you, and there's no one else out there like you. And it's not worth trying to be a copy of somebody else, because you already have so much value in just being blessed with being the person you are. You way you look, you're the only one who is blessed to look that way, and that brings a variety. I think of humanity as God's garden. We look differently, and just like a garden, we have different flowers that looks differently, but at the same time, that's what makes a garden beautiful. People pay money to go and look at certain botanical gardens, and you are that precious flower, and you need to be exactly the way you are, because you bring variety to life. You bring spice to life. You give people variety to look on, and you need to be exactly the way you are, and allow God to just to just grow you, to develop you, to put his masterpiece as he's continuing to work on you. Allow him to be the one to put that airbrush on you.
Yes.
Because we don't need to listen to anybody else. Everybody else is trying to figure out their own life too, honestly, and we never know who is out there struggling with their own self-esteem. You know, we might be looking and say, oh, I wish I could be like that person, but we have no idea what they're going through. We have no idea what they have come from or what their struggles are. So just focus on what you have. Focus on the blessing you have of just being an original piece, masterpiece of yourself, and make that the best piece you could possibly make it to be.
That is excellent, Dookie. Sania, this is exactly what I want every woman out there, every girl out there who is growing up right now with so many mess and trash and garbage and junk of the news, how to build their identity. They're struggling with that. It's not going to sustain that. And I see your passion, how much you really want your voice to be heard. So they will also observe that, your passion, your care, how much you really want them to achieve the success. And that's what we want. We want to have more voices like this to inspire this generation right now who are building their identity on the fake news, on the something that is going to clash in front of them, something that is not sustainable or real to them. So thank you so much for inspiring us to be the God's best version of masterpiece, his divine, unique creation that he had put the time to create and craft us, because we are wonderfully and beautifully and fearfully made. And that's the message. I'm so thankful for God to put us together, that and for you for being so knowledgeable and coming from experience your own. You're not just talking to them about because you've heard about it or you've read about. You went through that and you know how to meet them. You know how to take them to the next level. I'm so thankful for you to taking your time today, Sania, and joining us today with this powerful, unique, and profound message to the girls who are growing up right now struggling with their identity, and also sharing about what you do and how you can help others. I'm so excited to post this interview so everybody else will get to know you, because you deserve it, girl. You deserve it. God bless you, Sania. God bless you.
God bless you
Such a
too.
pleasure having you today.
Thank you for having me.